Hi guys, this is Nader, your transfer resource specialist. I wanted to make a slightly more serious style video, primarily because by the time you guys get this, it'll probably be like week 3, and week 5 is when midterms come around. And I know 2 weeks kind of sounds like that's way too far away, but it'll come by faster than you think. So I wanted to share a little bit of advice that has helped both myself and some of my peers out when it comes to midterms. Something I get asked really often is like, how should I go about starting a study group? When should I do it? Who should I contact? But no one ever really asks like, should I do it to begin with? It's important because they're really nice if you're able to get in a group where like you don't know something and someone else knows something, and so they kind of help you out, or you guys can just bounce ideas off of each other. That'll make you a little more well equipped for the exam, of course, but you also kind of build like this little sense of camaraderie, so you come to the exam slightly less stressed and a little more relaxed, which of course improves your own performance. But there's also the downside. There are one or more people in the group that are prioritizing their concerns more than anyone else's. Then it's bad for you because you're probably not going to get the help or attention that you really wanted from the group. And you might also start to feel a little alone because it feels like the rest of the group is like really strong and confident with the material, but you're not so much. And that, of course, stresses you out, and that's not good. Because study groups could either be really good or really bad for you, what I would say is just don't rely on them completely as your only mode of studying. Use them as a supplement to something like your homeworks or your lectures or your reading. So study groups are usually a question I get asked a lot, but what I don't get asked a lot, which I think is more important, is time. You need time. If you're going to cram for the exam the night before, curve or not, I assure you, you will fail. I personally give myself a minimum of like 2 to 3 days. I have peers that give themselves a week. Giving yourself the time to study and then breaking it up over multiple days means that you're more likely to be able to absorb and understand the information than just memorizing or cramming it. Plus, think of it this way. If you start earlier and you run into a roadblock, you can ask your professor or TA earlier, which means you're more likely to get a more meaningful answer. Your professor is likely not going to be up at midnight the night before to answer your question, and if they are up, they're going to be pressing F to pay respects. So in summary, study groups can be good, can be bad, so don't completely rely on them, and just make sure you give yourself enough time to pull it off. If you have any other questions or concerns, of course I'm always around, and you can shoot me an email. So good luck, Anteaters. You got this.